that's just the beginning. We will continue to work on employee wellness, both physical and mental health.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator Blackburn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Director, thank you so much for being here with us today. I do appreciate it. As you would expect, I want to talk about Memphis.
Yes.
And our concerns we have there. There are so many structural problems, and yesterday, the Memphis staff met with my team. And we heard about the facility there. You and I've discussed this previously, the leaking roof. And I know you have said you're going to have a trip to Memphis in October. But I would hope, following our meeting and following the way the employees at Memphis have highlighted with you these problems, that you've got a timeline for addressing these problems, and that has not lingered. And I would be hopeful that you are not waiting on the trip to Memphis to decide to address these. And we've got the Memphis employees here with us today, and I'm pleased that they are here. So talk to me about a timeline for addressing these issues. And we also found out that the SHU, the Special Housing Unit yesterday, is basically a condemned building. So what is your timeline for addressing that? What's the plan of action that these employees can return to Memphis and say, help is on the way?
Senator, thank you, and we've talked about this in your office. I don't have the timeline in front of me, but I know we discussed it in your office, and I know they're making progress. I know, and I know the employees that are here, I'm sure they're convinced progress is not fast enough. We are constantly reprioritizing which structures need to be fixed, but I know that we have plans in place at Memphis. I assure you, we are not waiting to fix the facility structure for my visit. Those plans will continue on the cadence that they are supposed to be on, and I look forward to visiting the facility.
Could you get in writing that timeline to me so that these employees know when that help is going to be arriving, they know when to expect it, and that they know that you all are indeed going to follow through on
Yes,
this?
Senator.
Okay, and if I could get that within the week, that would be very helpful.
Senator, we'll work diligently to get that to you.
Great. Let's also talk about the drones, because I know Memphis is understaffed. You and I had discussed the drones, and you said there was one drone that had been apprehended. I think that when we talk about drugs in our facilities, and there's been conversation in the questions here today about that, this creates a problem for the staff. And if these drones are flying in at night, and we are understaffed at night, but we know they're bringing in illicit drugs, what is your plan specifically on addressing the drones?
Thank you, Senator. So we are working on, we are utilizing managed access systems which capture all cellular signals within the confines of a prison. We are utilizing micro jamming systems to jam all cellular signals. We are deploying and looking at cellular communications as defined by a geospatial area. So that's a lot of technical language to say we're leveraging the latest technology to ensure that we can handle what you describe very accurately is a very serious situation with the drones. And the technology is constantly changing, and we're just trying to stay ahead of that changing technology.
It's a hard thing to do. I also want to ask you about home confinement and those federal prisoners that were put into home confinement during the CARES Act. And of course, the COVID pandemic is over, but you decided to go ahead and leave these individuals in home confinement rather than have them returned to the facilities. These are convicted criminals. They are serving their sentence. So where did you get the authority to decide to leave them on home confinement, and why did you choose not to return these. What was your decision matrix on that?
So I used data to make that decision in collaboration with the department. So we released over 13,000 individuals under the CARES Act, with less than 0.5% of them returning to prison. And so they were successful in the community. And so we made the decision to keep what I think today's date are about 3,300 individuals in the community, hoping that they would be better served in that situation than returning to prison.
Well, I find it interesting that DOJ thought they had the authority to give you the authority to do that and to make that decision to allow them, even though the emergency has ended. It is over. And it seems that these prisoners should go back to prison to serve the balance of that sentence. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Whitehouse.
Thanks for being here, Director Peters, and thanks for the meeting.